Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another velocity banking review. So, what is velocity banking? Well, all it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all of your money into debt with the help of a line of credit. And sometimes you pay off your debt so quickly, it feels like clickbait. Right. And I am the master of clickbait. Look at all these clickbait thumbnails that I got with a emoji and an arrow and lots of money. Money here. I got Winston Churchill there. I got money there, credit cards, lots and lots of money thumbnails that are clickbait. And I'm going to show you why a lot of people are shocked when they see this strategy, okay? To the point where it feels like clickbait. So, let's say you make a decent income, $6,675 a month, and then you have $6,674.13 a month in expenses, and you only have 87 cents left over. 87. Interesting. Okay. So, how can you increase your cash flow without generating or I'm sorry, without increasing your income? So when people see this situation and you ask them, "Hey, like if you have all this debt, lots of credit card debt, auto loan, student loan, mortgage, ton of debt, and you only have 87 cents left over, do you need to make more money to get out of this debt?" And everybody's gonna be like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 you need to make more money." And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this number increase by an insane amount without making more money, that you'll be like, have that clickbait face, right? One of these clickbait faces you're gonna have. That's the whole goal of this video. And so what we do is we assume that we have, when we do velocity banking, we have the same income and we have the same, let's go ahead and copy these expenses, right? Same expenses. And what we're not going to do is save money. I know it's shocking, right? But by not saving money and using our line of credit as our main operating account, we can increase this thing called cash flow. Okay. And so what we're going to do is dump all of our money into a line of credit, take our expenses out, and rinse and repeat over and over again. So, what's the difference between the average American and the velocity banker? So the average American uses their checking account to pay for things, okay? And they just use their checking account, they pay their bills, and then whatever's left over, in this case, it'd be 87 cents, we're just gonna put in our savings account. With banking, we're gonna dump all of our money into a line of credit, all of it. And then when we need to take money out of the line of credit, that's where we take our expenses out. Okay, we take our expenses out of the line of credit. Very simple. Okay, and so for this demonstration, we're going to assume we have access to $100,000 line of credit. So you might be asking, like, what's a line of credit? I've never heard that. All it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. That's all a line of credit is, right? So I have a home equity line of credit right here where I just click a button on the bank's website and then they will literally, okay, literally dump up to $280,000 into my checking account at a 7.5% interest rate. And it's instantaneous and it's like cash, right? So I didn't know these things existed before I learned velocity banking, but these things actually exist. Home equity line of credit. Okay. So $280,000. So in this case, it's going to be $100,000. Now, here I'm going to give you an example why simply just having a line of credit is not velocity banking. Because let's say I'm here as the average American, right? And I don't know, I got a $2,000 emergency. So let's say I put $2,000 in my uh, uh, checking account and I spend it. Now I have a $2,000 balance in my line of credit. And let's say the minimum payment on a line of credit is $25. Okay. Well, guess what happens? Okay. Well, if we just have a $25 additional bill as the average American, now we're in negative savings. So even having a line of credit as the average American doesn't mean we're doing velocity banking. People get this confused all the time. And in fact, I've had people make the same exact mistake where they had a home equity line of credit and they didn't use it as their main operating account. That's this key word here. See, it's not just having a line of credit, it's you're dumping your entire money into the line of credit, all of it. Okay, all of it. And if you don't know who I am, this is another clickbait kind of section. I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. Yeah, I did. Probably a lot of you don't believe me, but what do I care? You probably did, or maybe you did. I don't know. But I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. And so, yeah, that's just who I am. And I have over $594,000 in lines of credit. It'll probably be 600,000 soon. But a lot of people, they ask, like, how do you get these lines of credit? And they don't believe me when I tell them the secret of how I got almost up to $600,000 in lines of credit. Okay. You ready for this? If you've never been to this channel, you're gonna be pissed off, and if you have, then it's just like, "Oh, it's just refresh and review," right? Banks don't lend money to people who need it. Yeah, I know. Like, if you've never heard that before, it's gonna piss you off, just like it pissed me off when I first heard it. Banks don't lend money to people who need it, and if you understand that one little secret, you're gonna get your giant line of credit. Okay. If you understand that one secret. All right. So let's just do things the velocity banking way. So what we're going to do is transfer some debt. Again, we're not just going to use it as another debt tool where we just need it in case of emergencies, but we're going to use it as our main operating account. And we see we have these two credit cards here. Let's go ahead and move these two credit cards into the line of credit. And guess what happens to these two payments? Oh my goodness, they go to zero. So we literally went from 87 cents to $2,500.87. Isn't that amazing? Let me go ahead and zoom in here. This is the clickbait, right? There's a reason why we don't save money, okay? So we don't save money because we can literally go from 87 cents to $2,500.87 in cash flow. Isn't that amazing? Oh my goodness. I didn't know this is possible. And you might be like, you don't really save money? I don't save money. Take a look at this, right? $0 balance. Money comes in and money goes out. Okay. Money comes in, money goes out. That's what I do. I don't save money. Okay. All right. So money comes in, money goes out, and it's $2,500 of cash flow that we're going to have. How did we literally go from 87 cents to 2,500? Well, it's not just simply having a line of credit because we saw here that when we use the line of credit as the average American, you just have an extra bill. But when we use it as a velocity banker, oh man, the possibilities are endless. This is the literal clickbait moment of your life if you've never seen this strategy before. 87 cents to 2,500. One swoop. We didn't even increase the money. You see how the income for both sides or both columns are the same? Average American, same income, same expenses, but we went from bam to bam in an instant simply by transferring our debt, some of our debt into the line of credit and taking our expenses out. All right. So now let's go ahead and figure out how long it's going to take to calculate all to pay off of the debt. So what we do is to get the next month's balance is previous month's balance interest minus the cash flow. All right. So what are we doing here? So every month when we get paid, we're dumping this entire $6,675 into the line of credit. And then we take out our expenses. And then after every single month, the balance is going to go down by 2,500. Remember, we literally went from 87 cents on the struggle bus to $2,500 of cash flow just by one swoop. Okay. And so now to calculate the interest, it's going to be based on the average daily balance. I'm going to do this right here, right? Multiply it by the interest rate, 0.08, and then divide by 12. All right. And so now I'm going to copy and paste. And I am going to do this, copy and paste, right? And then we see that in 34 months, whoa, take a look at that. We paid off $75,000 of debt. 34 months, 75K on these two credit cards. How many credit cards do I have? I have like 28 or 27, I think. Some of them personal, some of them business. I got like 3 personal lines of credit, one for 15 grand, another for 15 grand, another for 8.3 grand. Almost $600,000 in lines of credit. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Okay. All right, so now we got this loan calculator right here where all I got to do is just type in the current month, right? So we got a student loan, auto loan, mortgage. Now, here's what happens with a lot of people, they focus on the interest rate, highest interest rate, which is a legitimate strategy, right? But if you have like 20 debts, and I've literally had people send me a spreadsheet out of the blue, unsolicited, 20 something debts. You know how overwhelming it gets? And if you just simply focus on the interest rate. So the way that I like to do it is using something called the cash flow index method. And so you can kind of see here we have this formula, and all it is like the statement balance divided by the monthly payment, right? And so what we're going to do is type in the current month, which is 34 months, 34, 34, 34, and it's going to tell me the current loan balances. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to move this balance, right? This balance into the line of credit, because this is like a ranking system. The lower the number, the more cash flow I'm getting, right? So would you do you want to pay off 10 grand to get about 400 bucks, or 27 grand to get 400 bucks in your cash flow? I'll pay the 10 grand, right? So it's okay if this is a lower interest rate, because we're just focused on the overall picture, the cash flow. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Control V, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do 9616.67, right? We're going to move that debt into there, and then this is going to be 0, this auto loan, 0. And now, whoa, look at this, $2,887 of cash flow. So I'm going to do this right here, and then I'm going to do this. So this is going to be 2,887.61. And so let's see how long it takes us to pay off the auto loan. So just 2 more months, right? You see how easy that was, 37 months to pay off the auto loan. 37 months, and then so that's going to be 75 plus 21, so 96K. And by the way, this is the goat, right? So every time we pay off debt, I just like to add a goat, right? You take a look here. Why am I the goat? It's because this is me, and this is possibly me according to Meta AI. And I said, listen, Meta AI, please draw me the velocity banking goat. And I just consider myself to be the greatest of all time. The Michael Jordan of debt payoff. No, I'm just kidding. But I actually did ask ChatGPT, like, I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. Am I the goat of debt payoff? And he said, yes, I am the goat of debt payoff, because 1%, I'm the top 1% of mortgage payers or note holders or whatever to pay it off in record time. And I didn't even mean to. I was just like, whatever. But it kind of feels good to not have that. And to be honest, my mortgage wasn't really the payment wasn't really that big. PNI was like about $900, right? But it feels good to have an extra $900 in my life, and possibly have a huge home equity line of credit. I could probably get a bigger one, because when did I get it? September, October. So it's 6 months has passed, and I could get another line of credit. My first line of home equity line of credit was only 15 grand. Second one's 50 grand, right? Third one is 280. So fourth one's probably gonna be like 3 something. Right? So all right. Okay. So so this is now 0. And then what month are we at? We are at month 37. So let's just go ahead and do this right here. Now, here's the most important part about this loan stuff, right? A lot of people, when it comes to velocity banking, explain it away. Oh, loans are always better than lines of credit. Loans are always better. I'm sorry, lines of credit are always better than loans. That's what they say. So if you got like a 3% mortgage, replace it with the 8% line of credit. I'm tell you that you have to be a little bit, use a little bit of common sense, okay? Because here's the thing. Let's say you have a 3% loan, right? 3%. This cash flow index, what it means is that if you put this $205,000 loan into a line of credit, you only get this itty bitty bitty of cash flow. And so, unlike, let's say, the 5-year loan, because when the payment term is shorter, it takes up more of your payment, right? Um, but if you have a 30-year mortgage, you borrow a lot and you pay very little. So if you're moving at that 3% big thing that is essentially a little payment into a line of credit at 8%, you're going to end up paying more than you have to, right? You got to be aware of that nuance, okay? But because 7 8% very similar, I'm okay with moving this one into a line of credit. So let's go ahead and move this right here. Wablam, wablam, kazam, chazam. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of the old 60s Batman TV shows. I don't remember what they used to say. All right. So now we're moving that student loan into that line of credit. So now this is 0. And now look at this. Woo! $3,000 of cash flow in our life. And we started with 87 cents. Love it. All right. So now let's just kind of do this. And I'm going to copy and paste. And then this is going to be 3293.99. All right. And then let's go ahead. I don't know if I should zoom in or just kind of give you an eagle's eye view of like all the debt, and then you like take a look here. Yeah, right. So all right, so now I just copy and paste, and then in month 46 we paid it all off. We did it. We made it to the moon. Whoopsie. Okay, so 131K. All right, so now we did that 46 months, and I'm going to do this. This is 0, and then 46. We have right now paid off about 15 grand after 46 months. Okay, so if you've ever looked at a mortgage amortization schedule, right? So what do you loan amortization calculator? Yeah, we got to go here. And then if you ever go here, and let's just go here. So 220 at 5%. So 22000 30 years at 5%. And you take a look at the monthly schedule, right? Or I'm sorry, the amortization schedule, it's pretty sick because for that 5%, you're literally paying almost 100% in interest, right? Like 3% is 50, 6%, no, 5.4% is like 100%, and then 9.4% is like 200% interest, right? So you look at all the interest you're paying and how much oh man, makes me sick. But after 46 months, we only paid about 14 grand of the principal, right? Because all of our money just simply went to interest. Now, what if we just move some of that 14 grand into the line of credit, right? I'm going to move 14 grand here into the line of credit. Now, our cash flow hasn't increased because we haven't paid off the loan. The cash flow only increases when we pay off the loan. But if we just do some simple debt transfers, right, and just keep paying it off repeatedly over and over again, which is called chunking, we just do a small amount, 1, 2, 3, 4. We see it about 4 months, probably a little bit less because we're not taking account the monthly payment that includes principal. We paid off 14 grand in 4 months. And how long did it take us to do it when we're in the bank schedule? 46. Isn't that crazy? So, right. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. And here's the thing. I'm not saying do a 14 grand, what we call chunking. Just do a small chunk. Like rule of thumb is just do it like amount similar to your paycheck. So we'll say 7 grand. Okay. So 7 grand plus 7000. Okay. And then we see that in 2 months we pay off the 7. There's literally almost like the cost of the line of credit at 8% is very minimal. And then we just kind of rinse and repeat over and over again, do another 7 grand chunk, see how easy it is, and you just rinse and repeat. So let's go ahead and pull out the velocity banking calculator with the mortgage. Give me one moment. All right, there we are with the velocity banking calculator. Let me see if I've got everything set. Probably did something wrong. So 6675 is my income, 6675. And then I think I got everything. Let's see what the current balance is. Probably a little bit different. 206,627.45. 206,627.45. Okay. And then I'm just going to show you why you don't move the whole thing into the line of credit. So if you do this, right, move the whole thing. Right now, we're doing $7,000 chunks. You move the whole thing, right? You pay double, pretty much double, right? Almost double. So you don't need to move the whole thing in a line of credit, right? Don't listen to YouTube. YouTube teaches you some wrong stuff, okay? Including me when I tell you to join my cult. I probably shouldn't tell you that, but I am a cult leader because I want to be 100%. Is genuine the right word? Or transparent? I don't even know, okay? But just do a small chunk, $7,000. And you know what's crazy? A 30% credit card, right? You see how it's 27 grand will be an 8% first lien HELOC, meaning that you're moving all the debt into 8%. Like, isn't that crazy? I did not know this. Okay. Now, quick plug here. If you want to know where I got this calculator from, I got it from Redatus. So this is where I originally first learned velocity banking. But if you want to learn not only velocity banking, but some other stuff like real estate investing and financial literacy, click the Google form link below. Click it below. Okay. And then once you do that, I'll probably try to sell you some stuff so I can make some money. But here's the thing, even though I don't need money, I still want to sell you some stuff, right? Like I don't need money. And then the bank lends me this because banks don't lend money to people who need it. And so if you ever come to into my call or Zoom call and act like I'm trying to rip you off, I'm like, sure, just do that and waste my time. At least I like working with banks because they do the opposite of what most people do. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.